Hello, I'm Pam at healingstars.com. This is the chart set for the 13th of October, the new moon, in London at 1:05 British summertime. However, I have not used the actual rising sign or the midheaven. Instead, I'm using the colour wheel, and I'm looking at where the sun and moon are in relation to this. And here they are in Libra, in the green sector. Also in Libra is Mercury. Now Mercury has been the story of the month, so to speak, because Mercury has been retrograde through Libra. And it changed and started to move forward, hooray, I go, on Friday last week. It's now at 1 degrees of Libra 53 at this new moon. And it's making a very good connection to Saturn here in Sagittarius, in this blue sector. And that connection is called a sextile, and it's a positive connection, a talent, an ability. So Saturn wants us to ground in Sagittarius, our vision, and Mercury, Libra, wants balance and harmony, and it's coming from the heart. That's one connection that starts this new moon. And remember, a new moon is a seed. So it plays out, each new moon plays out over the month. Venus has just changed sign. Venus is now in Virgo. Venus tipped her toe into Virgo, it seems months ago. But now we have Venus, Mars and Jupiter, 3 planets in Virgo. Also, what's just happened, the North Node and South Node, which are always opposite, the North Node has now changed sign into Virgo. The nodes move backwards through the zodiac, and so the South Node is in Pisces. And that story will play out over the next 18 months as we have eclipses. But eclipses won't occur until next year now. What is noticeable at this new moon is the strong connection that the sun and moon have with the planet Uranus in the fire sign of Aries. So this is Libra, an air sign, with its opposite, fire sign. And Uranus is in Aries for 7 years. It's a long cycle. Nothing new about that. But this new moon is virtually exactly opposite. Now, the negative aspect of Uranus in Aries, it connects to the Arab Spring, by the way, it changed sign just as that occurred, can be the rebel, can be the outsider. It just does things differently for the sake of it. Have you ever noticed that about yourself? Especially if someone demands you do something, even if you didn't want to, you won't. And that's the contrariness that Uranus can have. It has a very unusual orbit. It's at a very strange angle. And that's the quality of Uranus. It thinks outside the box. Therefore, to integrate, which is always what an opposition asks us to do, is to find balance and harmony with Libra, the sign of the scales, the sign of justice in the tarot, and our heart, to listen to our heart and recognize that Uranus can also, in its positive, bring genius, ideas that come from the blue, the ether, the higher mind, highly creative when you bring those two together. Now, you look with any planet, you can see the sign, it's in the sign of Aries. So to get more information, we look across and see, oh, there's Mars. To look again at the new moon in Libra, the ruling planet is Venus. And Venus and Mars, the lovers, are going to join for the 3rd time this month. That doesn't occur for a few weeks. That's on the 25th of October, which is around about the time of the full moon on the 27th. So we will wait for that story to play out. Meanwhile, what's been happening with all the planets moving into Virgo is a face-off. First of all, they get to be squared by Saturn. The further away a planet is from our Earth, the more influence it has in astrology. So Saturn, when it's at a right angle to a planet, a square, brings it to a halt. It wants it to go slowly, to take time. That's what Saturn rules. It's the planet to do with time, the Time Lord. And we've just recovered from Mars being opposite, squaring Saturn, and Jupiter also earlier on. But now Venus will come to that place at this new moon. Venus is moving fairly fast though, so this won't last for more than like a week. And it's not as intense as Mars, because Mars wants physical action, but Venus is in Virgo. Think about Virgo. What does Virgo mean? Virgo is the sign, gets the least publicity sometimes, but it's the sign of health and healing. It's the digestion system in the body. What do we need to digest and absorb that Venus and Mars and Jupiter are telling us? And Jupiter is the planet that governs Sagittarius, the planet to do with faith, with trust. Being in the body, trusting our body wisdom is one aspect I would consider for us all, for Jupiter in Virgo over the next year. The next thing that happens to planets in Virgo is, and this has already happened, is the opposition to Neptune. So Mars has been opposite Neptune, Jupiter opposite Neptune, and Venus will also then be opposite Neptune. Just look at the numbers. Saturn's at 2 degrees, Neptune's at 7. So therefore, Neptune, the realm of the imagination, the realm of creativity, the realm connected to the womb. Pisces, the 12th sign, is to do with the womb, pre-birth, when we absorb information in a psychic way from our mother. So Venus and Neptune, again in integration, can bring great creative concepts through. The next thing that happens, and I'll move things forward slightly just to give you the picture. So here you can see Venus. That's on Saturday, but Venus is opposite Neptune. Interesting enough, the moon will be with Saturn on that day. Therefore, we're also being asked to look at Saturn again, ground something, put it on paper, make it visible to yourself. If you want a health regime, a perfect month to do this in, put pictures up of things that you know you'd like to achieve, how you'd like to feel by the end of the month. The next aspect planets will make will be to do with Pluto. Now, this is Jupiter and Mars are very close together now. And Mars, Jupiter will both trine Capricorn, Pluto. Power. The ability to really go for it, I'd say. Especially in Mars and Jupiter coming together, which they do. Here they are, Sunday the 18th. Venus will then follow suit. So to big juicy goals of Jupiter, a vision that you really want to build something, create something that is of true worth to you, your true power, which is not ego power, it's the power that comes from understanding the higher power to do with faith and Jupiter. I could speak forever, but I won't. But you can see that we have a very interesting week ahead, and a very wonderful month ahead. I would salute Virgo and all you Virgos out there, because you are leading the way at this time. And of course, the other thing that will happen this month is the sun will change sign into my home sign of Scorpio. Find out more on my website. Thank you for watching, PamHealingStars.com.